Hello, class, and welcome to week 8. This week, we are going to be working on models of hydrogen atom, alpha decay, and beta decay, and then photoelectric effect. And so there are quite a few simulations that we'll be working with for week 8's lab, right? And so I want to go over the simulations just to show them to you and show you the settings and how to find the settings, and then you'll be answering the questions based on those simulations. As always, when you look at the simulation, you want to right click on it and you want to open the link in a new tab. When you do this, this allows you to go back and forth between the simulation and the instructions. So the first one is the hydrogen atom. And so when we click on this, you want to make sure it's on model. And here in the instructions, it's listed as prediction, but that's the same as model. Excuse me, that's the same as model. The simulation was updated since the instructions. And so the picture might look a bit different from what you see in the experiment. So if we go to model, so we want it Bohr's model, and then we want it to be monochromatic. We want the 94 nanometers. What you need to do is you're going to click on transitions, you're going to click on the 94, and that's how this will pop up. All right. This may be hidden when you first see it, but you want to open that up. And I found when I did the simulation that it's easier to see the transitions. It's slow. Excuse me, but you can play around with it. Some people can see them easily at normal, some at fast. So play around with the speeds that you want to do it. Anytime you want to restart, you want to hit this button. That'll restart it. If you want to pause it or and hit play. So if we do start the simulation, okay? So say as you're going along and you see a transition, it's going to go, let me go. All right, so it's going to go from n equals 1 to n equals 6, and then it'll go back down. And then it will go all the way up, and then it'll come down in stages. And what you want to look at is just what's going on. So you see the spectrophotometer, it's showing up at different places. And these represent the number of nanometers at each transition, what is showing. It's going to show in this UV region up here, and then there's some that are going to show in the visible region, but you need to match the energy levels with the wavelengths, okay? These are the wavelengths in nanometers, all right? So that will cover questions 1 all the way down to question number 12. Okay, so that will be the first 12 questions for that simulation. Then we're going to go to the alpha decay simulation. And so again, you're going to right click on it and open it in a new tab. I think, yep, this is my alpha decay. And so it says you want to click on single atom so you get the image below. All right, and so when you click on single atom, it looks like this. And when you press play, you're going to see what happens as you start off with PO211, which is polonium, and you see you give off an alpha particle, and you're left with PB207. And so you're going to go through the different transitions as you go through the different half-lives. All right. So you want to answer those questions based on that. All right. So that'll be 13 through 15 for that simulation. Now you want to click on multiple atom. All right. So we're still in the same simulation, but now we're on multiple atom. All right. And so up here is the tab for single atom and then multiple atom. Okay. And then you want to follow the instructions for how to add the atoms. Okay, it says click on add 10 below the bucket of polonium. All right. So see where it says add 10? So you want to click on that. All right. and then just follow the instructions based on that. So now we're going to look at beta decay. So this is the only question, number 16, where we're looking at the multiple atoms, all right? So then we look at number 17 and we go to beta decay, all right? So I'm going to close some of these just so that I can keep track. All right, there's my beta decay. All right, so for the beta decay, we want to click on single atom and we want to answer the questions based on single atom. So it's listed here as single atom and it's going through. All right, so if you want to reset, you can always reset, stop it and reset, and it'll start from the beginning. All right. So that will answer questions 17, 18, and 19. And then we go to our final simulation, which is the photoelectric effect. So if we click on that, we're going to hit play. For each of these, you may get this pop-up window. You can either download the Java version or you can just simply run it. Either way, it's the same simulation, nothing different between the two. All right, and so that's going to load up. All right. And then your simulation is listed here. And so if we look at that, this gives you some information about the photoelectric effect. You want to change your settings so the intensity of light is 50% and the type of radiation is in the infrared region as shown below. All right. And so you want your intensity to be at 50% and you want it to be in the infrared region. Okay. All right. So you have it. We want it at 959. So let's go down a little bit more. Uh, okay. 959 and 50%. All right. And then you're going to answer the questions based on what you observe. Okay. As you look at different wavelengths and radiation, now you're increasing intensity, lowering your intensity. And so go through this, answer the questions based on this particular model. All right. And one thing, okay, so it shows a current of 0. All right, so that's all set correctly. All right. So if you have any questions as you're going through the simulation, then let me know. Have a great week. Bye-bye.